So hello and welcome to the third installment of our webinar series hosted by the University of Washington Center for Environmental Health Equity, or CEHE. Our series aims to highlight and prioritize Indigenous leadership, voices, experiences, and stories around environmental and energy justice. We extend our gratitude to everyone here, both present and future viewers, for your time, interest, and engagement. We are also extremely grateful to our speaker today, whom we'll have the honor of introducing shortly. First, though, I want to tell you a little bit about CEHE. Our mission here at CEHE is to provide technical assistance to tribal nations, communities, and organizations in U.S. EPA's Region 10 states, including Alaska, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. Though a relatively new concept, technical assistance in environmental and energy justice is becoming an important notion for tribal nations, communities, and organizations to protect cultural heritage, health, and well-being, while also promoting sustainable development and environmental economic empowerment. We hope that technical assistance empowers tribes to make informed decisions, reinforcing their sovereignty and self-determination. Through CEHE, new possibilities for tribal and university partnerships are developing, nurturing collaborations grounded in respect, reciprocity, and relationality, and with an understanding about the importance of Indigenous data sovereignty. Indigenous data sovereignty is important to ensuring that Indigenous communities retain control, ownership, governance over their data, which aligns with their cultural values and tribal ethical standards, thereby protecting against misuse and disinformation. It also ensures accuracy, cultural sensitivity, and regulated access and use of their data. Among other things, our goal at CEHE is to enhance the capacity of tribal entities to apply for and manage environmental and energy justice grants effectively. To support that goal, through this webinar series, we seek to exchange valuable data, information, knowledge, wisdom, and stories by addressing informational gaps in environmental and energy justice topics. So we hope this series will especially benefit decision makers among tribal nations and communities as they work to enhance their capacity and strengthen their efforts towards self-determination. So in essence, we hope that CEHE's Environmental and Energy Justice Tribal Communities webinar series can be a gift or seen as a gift of conversation to support tribal nations, communities, organizations, and individuals by providing respectful spaces for such knowledge to develop. Now, I would like to ask Thor to guide us through the next part of our introduction. Thor, could you please share our land acknowledgement and introduce our speaker?
Absolutely. Thank you, Clarita. We would like to thank the many tribes of the Coast Salish region whose traditional lands the University of Washington occupies. The land and sea of this region is connected to the body, heart, and lives of these people and has been since time immemorial. We seek to honor the strong sovereign nations of the Coast Salish region and their right to self-determination. We thank these people past, present, and future, and recognize that this acknowledgement is only the beginning of a conversation of actions, awareness, and connections. We also recognize that a land acknowledgement is a formal act undertaken by many Indigenous groups that holds varying and different significance other than the term adopted by Western institutions. With this important recognition of the land and its people in our hearts, we move forward without further delay. It is our honor to introduce and welcome Marie Francis of the Environmental and Energy Justice in Tribal Communities webinar series. Marie Francis is the Solar Program Manager for the Tebughna Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit that serves the Tyonek tribal community in Alaska. She has a bachelor's degree in mathematics and a sustainable energy occupational endorsement certificate from the University of Alaska. She has nearly a decade of experience working for tribes and tribal nonprofits in South Central Alaska. She is passionate about renewable energy, power data analysis, environmental sustainability, and tribal energy sovereignty. In her free time, she enjoys fishing, biking, skiing, and hiking. We extend our gratitude to this leader for taking time out of their busy schedule to share their knowledge and experience with us. Now I would like to turn the mic over to Marie to get us started.
Thank you, Thor and Clarita, for the introduction, and thank you to the University of Washington Center for Environmental Health Equity for giving me the opportunity to share about the Tebughna Foundation Solar Program. So let me share my presentation. In slideshow view. Oh, and ensure that my sound is being shared. Yahalida Marie Francis Shiikilan, Tebughna Foundation, Getnuin Cha'u Nabu Kanasan, Benta, Shigu Shikaya Kilanda, Dagayat Nu, Shigu Kaodi Yeshududa, Chikanik. My name is Marie Francis. I am the Solar Program Manager for Tebughna Foundation. I am from Wasilla. I currently reside in Anchorage, and I work for Tebughna Foundation. And as Thor said, we serve the Tyonek tribal community, and today we'll be talking about Tyonek's solar journey as we have been developing a solar and battery microgrid in rural Alaska. So Tyonek is located on the western shore of Tebughna, also known as the Cook Inlet, and it is on the traditional territory of the Dena'ina Athabascan people. The Dena'ina name for Tyonek's people is Tebughna, meaning the beach people.
Yagalida. We are Tebughna, meaning the beach people. The native village of Tyonek is a small village located on the Kenai Peninsula, about 40 miles south of Anchorage. The village has a population of about 150 people and is a remote community with limited access to resources. As a result, the cost of electricity is significantly higher, 3 times the national average, and higher than other parts of Alaska.
Hey, hi, my name is Janelle Baker. We had a community meeting with everybody, and we asked people, where do you want to see Tyonek within 5 years? And one of them was the solar energy kind of type stuff because of the high cost of our electricity here. We had been working with Tebughna Foundation and college, and they came up here with an idea to do a grant to get the solar farm, as well as our task force that's between Tyonek Native Corporation, NVT, and Tebughna Foundation. If we had a solar bank, create our own natural energy for it.
Mary Chewett from Tyonek. I can't use my stove because I have asthma and I'm on oxygen. Oh, when I first got my electric bill, it was 900 and something, and it was even more than my Social Security.
Ernest Baker Sr., and I live in Tyonek, Alaska. We're kind of forced under a monopoly right there to use power right there, and we live, everything goes by it. So I took that power away from them and gave it to myself.
My name is John Stanifer. Having solar panels to me is a way of reducing pollution into the air. I was hoping someday that our leaders would really look into that and realize we live right next to the power source, but we pay higher than anybody else, even in Anchorage.
Well, my name is Crystal Moon. Cutting down, less trees, less road, renewable energy is, I can't see how we can lose.
My name is Elizabeth Standifer. How I keep my electric bill down is also harvest wood to burn for the wood stove. Most of the high cost during the winter time is from the heat, from heating. If we run out of wood or, for some reason we can't get the fire going, I have my kids plug in their heaters at least. Tyonek will be the last Garden of Eden. Because we're so protective over our land and everything. And I think some resources are good for the world, but not so good for the land. Solar energy, I feel like that's already given to us from the sun. Given that, anywhere from 5 to 20 hours a day, depending on the season from the sun. So if we could tap into, it also kind of ties back to our native values of taking care of our land.
Being stewards of the land, we, the Tebughna, believe a solar farm is a way to harness the sun by caring for our people and our land.
That was some testimonials from our tribal citizens about the burdensome cost of electricity that is faced by our community. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the history and how we got where we are today. So Tebughna Foundation was founded in 2007. We're a 501c3 nonprofit that serves the native village of Tyonek tribal citizens, as well as the Tyonek Native Corporation shareholders. Our vision is to honor our ancestors, our elders, and our traditions, and to commit a share of our lifelong activities towards the enrichment of our culture and to invest in our future and our children in order to preserve our values. And harnessing renewable energy aligns with the traditional Dena'ina Athabascan value of stewarding and honoring the land. So in 2016, Tebughna Foundation was awarded funding to put together, in collaboration with Native Village of Tyonek, a 10-year strategic plan, and one of the energy goals of that plan was stated as pursue renewable energy to lower our electric bills. Following that, Tebughna Foundation, in collaboration with our partners at the College and Community Partnership Program, as well as the Environmental Defense Fund and the American Geophysical Union, published the Tyonek Native Village of Tyonek Alternative Energy Report, and that report concluded that a solar farm was the most economically viable as well as environmentally responsible source of renewable energy. Since then, the solar program has identified 4 focus areas that I'll get into. The first being the Tyonek Tribal Center Solar Pilot Project, the development of the solar farm, heating homes, as well as solar workforce development. So the Tyonek Tribal Center was identified as a spot to do our first pilot study for the microgrid that would be installed in Tyonek, as monthly electrical bills at the Tyonek Tribal Center have been as high as $3,000. This year, or earlier this year, the Native Village of Tyonek retrofitted the tribal center with energy efficiency measures that would prepare it for a renewable energy install. Tebughna Foundation conducted a feasibility study to pilot a solar and battery energy storage system for the Tyonek Tribal Center. We're seeking funding for installation costs via grants or philanthropic donations and a diversity of funding strategies. The Tyonek Tribal Center Solar Pilot Project will offset energy demand throughout the year, as well as inform future solar development in Tyonek, as it saves the tribal council money on this community facility. So the Tyonek Solar Farm will be a 4 megawatt solar photovoltaic array and 5 megawatts of battery energy storage. We will be leasing 40 acres of land from Tyonek Native Corporation for the solar site. At this point, we are in the design and engineering phase and reached the 35% design milestone. We're pleased to be working with Alaska Native Renewable Industries for design, engineering, and grant writing. And we will be submitting a grant application for the EPA Community Change Grant. And that funding ranges between $10 to $20 million. So it would be able to cover the costs of installation. Some more details about the solar farm. It would be considered an independent power producer, which is also known as a qualifying facility. The IPP will be owned by the Native Village of Tyonek, the tribal government. I have here a local example of an IPP. Tyonek is in a unique position in that while it is off the road system, it is on the grid. So the utility that has electrified Tyonek is the same utility that serves approximately 300,000 customers in Anchorage, the nearest city, in the largest city in Alaska. So the IPP would sell electricity to Chugach Electric Association. And as we've discovered over the course of development, about the myriad legal and regulatory compliances, we've also learned that there are two ways to price the sale of electricity, those being the avoided cost of natural gas or a negotiated power purchase agreement. The utility so if we were to sell electricity at the avoided cost of natural gas, which is the fossil fuel that powers Tyonek, as well as most of the rail belt communities between the interior and the Kenai Peninsula. So the utility would be required to buy electricity from qualifying facilities at the avoided cost of natural gas per the Federal Public Utility Regulatory Policies Act. And the other option, the PPA, that would require approval from the Regulatory Commission of Alaska. In either scenario, we would also have to do filings with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. So over the course of development, it has been a very long learning process navigating through legal, regulatory, tribal business law, energy law, as in just being able to forge the best path forward to make the Tyonek solar farm to fulfill the vision of the tribal community. I wanted to speak a little bit to the battery and the technical assistance we've received from the National Renewable Energy Laboratory to right size the battery for the community's electrical load. The battery would be a part of the microgrid infrastructure in that it would be able to provide Tyonek with 24 hours of power in the event of a grid disruption. And just for context, Tyonek had 57 total outage hours in 2022. So when you live in a community with a subsistence economy, there is a great risk when grid failures happen, because then you can't keep your chest freezer cold full of the food for your family for the year. You're isolated from the world when telecommunications go down. You're unable to heat your home, especially since outages happen in the colder months. It's definitely a risk to livelihood. So our goal of installing the battery is to enhance the grid resiliency and reliability while also mitigating the impact of outages. And one of the last pieces of the solar farm that we've been exploring is agrivoltaics, which refers to co-locating food production as well as solar electrical production on the same land. We will restore and steward the berry habitat that will be co-located on the solar farm site. So berry species that have been identified are cloudberries, blueberries, low bush cranberries, as well as other traditional subsistence plants, such as Labrador tea or willow. By integrating solar panels with habitat restoration and protection of traditional subsistence food and medicine resources, we can enhance food security while also supporting environmental stewardship. The berries that will be grown on the solar farm site will be distributed to the community via already existing food distribution programs. We've had initial consultations with the Tyonek Tribal Conservation District to scope out what an Indigenous-led agrivoltaics program would look like, as we're also speccing out the solar farm. And there's, I mean, a multitude of benefits of installing the solar farm. One thing that I didn't touch on earlier, but is something that has been at the forefront of Alaska energy politics is our state Department of Natural Resources has forecasted natural gas shortages that will hit by 2027, which would raise the prices of electricity all throughout the state, but most especially in rural Alaska. The IPP, as owned by the tribe, would be a profit generating asset and would enhance economic prospects by diversifying the local economy, as well as providing employment opportunities within the renewable energy sector, improve energy resiliency and reliability, especially by installing a battery, enhance and strengthen energy security and food security, while also strengthening tribal energy sovereignty, or having the tribal community decide where they want their energy to come from, as well as reducing greenhouse gas emissions, improving air quality, and just being an all-around exemplary model of environmental stewardship by harnessing renewable energy. So some other focus areas we've identified include heating homes. So the cost of residential home electricity is really high. We've seen, as we saw in the video, electrical bills can be the hundreds of dollars, and a large driver of that is the prevalence of electric space heat being used in Tyonek homes. And this pie chart shows that electric space heaters are being used by about 3/4 of homes in conjunction with other heating sources such as coal, diesel-fired stoves, wood, and things like that. So we've identified a multitude of strategies because the energy problem in Tyonek is also a heating problem. So some strategies we're going to deploy in homes include energy and efficiency retrofits, weatherization, sealing up the building envelope so that homes aren't as drafty and aren't losing their heat. Once the homes have been optimized for energy efficiency, we're looking into solar assisted heat pumps, or possibly employing district heating, wherein you have a centralized heating source that then gets distributed out to homes. The benefits of heating homes include cost savings, improved environmental impact, as improved comfort and health for the residents, as well as energy resiliency. And solar workforce development. We want our local workforce to be the ones to install, operate, and maintain these systems. So that way we don't have to rely on external factors or to ensure that the system stays running. So we have identified some apprenticeship opportunities. Once we receive funding for the solar farm, we're going to bring a certified solar installer trainer to Tyonek, so our tribal citizens can be certified in solar installation, as well as promoting post-secondary educational and vocational training opportunities for the long-term operations and maintenance beyond the installation phase. The solar farm will create approximately 60 jobs most of those would be during the installation phase, but there will also be career opportunities to operate and maintain this for the lifetime of the system. We couldn't have gotten this far without our partners and funders thus far. My gratitude for the organizations that have helped us carry us this far is boundless, and I'm really optimistic that we'll be able to transition from the design and engineering phase into the installation phase smoothly. Tyonek, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. My contact information is here. I'd love to speak to any of the attendees about the solar program or our goals or our progress. So I guess with that, can open it up to questions.
Thank you so much, Marie, for sharing your knowledge and experience with that. It's very, very interesting. I'm now going to be stopping the recording here, so we can all feel free to talk as we wish for the Q&A session.